Our experience with reseeding our cropland back to grass has been a really positive experience. Our property had been farmed too long and it just wasn't producing well any longer, and so decided to go back to grass and mostly native grasses, and have seen that really thrive. Working with the NRCS was really important in that process because of the knowledge that they had and the advice that they were able to give along the way.
They recommended certain species. They knew the plants and they knew what was native, and we wanted to go native because I feel through succession, the native species are the ones that have succeeded, and we wanted to go that route. NRCS, their technical advice and then assistance financially was really critical. It was a major step, a major investment, and it made it possible.
This property is unique just in the large-scale reseeding that went on here. Over the past 10 years, they have reseeded close to 4,000 acres of annual cropland back to perennial vegetation. Goals are more forage availability, diversity, creating flexibility in their grazing operation. This project is also unique just that it's located in one of the largest intact grasslands that's left. That's been a big focus for grassland songbirds, sage grouse, a lot of wildlife groups. And so just to be able to restore some of this area back to perennial vegetation has been huge. Benefits to wildlife to connect that habitat.
After the reseeding has established and that I'm able to graze that, now I can focus more on the development of those pastures. And so we've done fencing, water development so that there's enough water to be able to do more intensive grazing, and really being able to do more grazing management.
Livestock pipelines are the major projects for us because that way they helped us develop grazing systems too. And those are in combination. In order to improve our grazing, we had to have better water for the livestock, and we drilled a well and put in large storage tanks in some areas. We have 2 that are 16,000 gallon storage tanks.
This system has 2 wells that supply over 31 miles of pipeline. Some of the pipeline was over 40 years old and not able to meet their goals and objectives with their current grazing operation. So we replaced a lot of that pipeline to larger diameter so we can have increased flows that will meet their grazing objectives of larger numbers and shorter duration, so a higher intensity grazing system. Brenda has been working with NRCS and other partners to get more pipeline and tanks installed to allow her to do more intensive grazing, and I would foresee that to continue as she is implementing her grazing rotation and seeing what other developments are possible.
Since implementing the seeding and the water and fence infrastructure, we've really seen Brenda be able to achieve an increased level of grazing management. We're allowing for more rest on these pastures, allowing plant recovery, allowing for nesting habitat of a multitude of wildlife species, seeding a diverse mix of perennials that include grasses, forbs, pollinators. That has positively impacted soil health on the ranch by increased biodiversity as well as increased habitat for microorganisms in the soil.
We have seen improvements in areas where we had salinity issues, and that has been a slow process, but it has been a big improvement. But also has given more opportunity for winter grazing, and being able to winter graze has been a goal, and we've tried to do that for a long time as much as possible. But now that we have more grass, especially right here where it's closer to home for me, being able to graze those pastures in the winter has been great. It saves a lot in hay costs, first of all, but then just labor and time feeding and all of that. And we'd much rather just have the cows grazing if they're able to.
I think it helps a lot that our NRCS staff are local people, have grown up in the area and are in agriculture themselves, some of them, so they have a definite understanding of what we're trying to do. They're eager to help.